I'll like have that idea or like realize, oh, that's the person I need to reach out to.
It's a
or I
cliche,
should have asked this question.
but you really start with the people you know
a few
and
months ago
your
now
immediate
about a woman named Sandra
Just
Bland.
being generally a very curious person in the world.
So I feel like the ideas come from everywhere.
They can be abstract, and then you apply it and you find stories from all over. Industry papers, financial stuff, things where people are speaking very frankly about things that are going on. You'll find stories, you find the human element in that.
It's just reading. You just have to read everything, like newspapers, newsletters, blogs.
The conversations that I have with like my friends in the real world and the things that we talk about and the things that we care about.
There's a saying from John McPhee, who is this great nonfiction writer, who once said, if you look at all the topics that I've covered, they're all things I cared about when I was 12 years old.
It's a cliche, but you really start with the people you know and your immediate environment. Even if the story isn't related to that, think about what people are talking about.
Just being generally a very curious person in the world. So whenever I'm going about my day, whether that's like on the internet consuming media or walking around talking to people, I just kind of always have my ears out for weird things that make me go like, what?
Like half my brain is always reading any article or like any dinner party conversation or hanging out with friends, and the wheels are always turning.
And then whenever I keep having that kind of like, what is that even about moment, then I'll sort of make note of that and be like, oh, maybe that's a story.
And maybe even a kind of a not great way, like a friend's telling you a story about their sick grandma and you're kind of like, oh, interesting, I hope she's still alive so I can potentially make a radio doc about her.
My favorite story I found just by walking down the street. There's a protest outside a building. I did some research on it. It turns out the landlord is actually a multinational company that's doing the same thing all over the world, kind of forcing out lower income tenants, and it's a nonprofit.
If I'm ever getting stuck in production or like I just can't finish the script or things aren't going my way, I will always go for a swim.
What fires my creativity is time, which I have very little of. Because I find that working on a daily show like The Current or As It Happens, like you've got deadlines and that's what fires your, your creativity.
So often when I go for a swim, I'll like have that idea or like realize, oh, that's the person I need to reach out to, or I should have asked this question.
I use as like a complete palate cleanser or something that clears my head is Bad Brains' Rock for Light. The hardcore album is very fast and strong and melodic.
So it's kind of nice to shut out the world, no sounds, just water and your mind. Work it out.
So I feel like whenever I go out and see a great piece of theater or see a great movie, and all those different elements coalesce in the movie or in the theater production, and you get those great moments, I get super inspired by that to recreate that in what I'm doing in radio.
Reading the fiction of somebody like Laurie Moore or Alice Munro, like the way they set scenes, the way they have a lot of economy in their writing and like can establish what a room looks like in like 2 sentences so beautifully and so vividly. And that's something that we really need on radio because you can't show someone what a room looks like. It all is up to your words. So they have to be economical, they have to be precise, and they also have to be evocative.
I think my secret weapon or something that guides me a lot is like, who are people that we don't
about just
usually
like maintaining a lot of friendships and maintaining a lot of good relationships.
To step back and listen to, let your audio mind
asked to
hear
speak
other
about things.
too.
And so overwhelmingly what that
That's
ends up
what's
being
important
is
about life,
young,
but also what's important about
non-white
making sure that you have
people.
like good balance as a reporter.
Don't be boring. You cannot be boring. If you're starting to tune out on your own work, you got to admit it. You got to say that this isn't working and you need to go back.
The really good microphones that pick up beautiful sound are also very delicate. So when you're holding it in your hand, you get a lot of something called mic noise. So there's this thing you can do where you saw off the end of a microphone stand, put some gaffer tape around it, put the microphone in that, takes care of most of the noise, and also it feels a lot more natural.
I have this very amazing backpack that fits my kit really beautifully, and it's waterproof and it's really light and it makes my life really wonderful.
Going for walks and just not, listening to like sending something to myself and just listening as I walk and I'm not in the building.
Of something you're interested in, whether it's in a book or online or in a conversation, and then just really follow it way past its logical conclusion. That's how you get the really good stuff.